What's up, guys? Welcome back to the next video on learning Python. My name is QDS Dani and you guys are watching my channel Coraiwood. Alright, so in the previous video we've seen the for loop. That was awesome, that was nice. And we've seen the for x in range or I in range 5. We've seen all those and that's very good too. Now you're gonna ask me, what if I go in somewhere and they said to me, my boss or anyone, my teacher or lecturer, whatever says, don't use range, what I'm gonna do? So, and that's very nice, and you said to me that's a start, that's a stop, and that's a step. Start, step. And what if I go in situations when there is no range? If, and keep in mind, this is one of the most used loop for with the for loop in Python. The for, because it offers a lot of functionalities. Now if you guys going to say variable, whatever is variable, our variable is x in sequence. So what are you guys going to do then? Say for example, I put it here for str in Yazdani, my name. I'm going to print my name, but I'm not using the range. So here, if I copy that one, it's very simple program. And now I'm going to put it here, for example, and I'm going to keep in mind, I'm going to put all these ranges on top. I'm copied that one and I'm going to put it on top, because in this video I'm going to show you guys what happens if you guys don't use any of this. So we're going to put this one aside, because, and keep in mind, and throughout your programming you guys going to practice with this one, with the range. Anywhere you guys go in Python, you guys going to see for I in x, for I in range, for x in range, for y, z in range, for whatever your variable is, you guys going to do in range. Either you guys want to use single or double or triple numbers. Okay, so now we have here for str in Yazdani or for str in any other language. Now you guys gonna come, we're gonna bring the characters. How many characters is those here? And I have indentation error here. So str in Yazdani, and we're gonna print how many characters is that inside the Yazdani. So you guys gonna see the y, a, z, d, a, and I, but in separate letters. Alright, so now we're gonna run to show you guys. And we haven't used the range. Keep in mind, there is no range here, there is nothing here, it's just a simple for loop. So if you look in here, y, a, z, d, a, and I, you guys can do any number. For example, you guys can do federation, for example. You guys can do federation, and when you come here, you guys are going to see the federation. That's how many characters in there. Alright, as I said to you here, the for loop, that's the normal for loop, is that for variable in sequence. What we mean by sequence and what we mean by variable. Say we're going to change this one, we're going to say for example vegetable. Okay, so in the vegetable we're going to come here and we put some vegetable names. And the first one we put say potato, for example, and you guys can put schools or countries, for example, or say for example we put a countries, and our country's name is going to be Australia, and the second one's going to be New Zealand, and the third one's going to be Indonesia, for example. Alright, so now we put a country. Alright, so now we put a for loop, and now we are not going to use range. We put a for, and we put I or x, we put x in countries, in a country or countries. Then we want to print, then what we want to print, and we want to print the x. You guys can put I, x, y, z, a, b, c, whatever you guys want to put. So if you're gonna come and you guys run and we're gonna see that's Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia. Doesn't matter how many times you guys put it here, you guys can see. Even if you guys like put the name of like 50 countries, or if you guys put anything, you guys gonna see that. And you guys can use a break that we learn with say for example break with the while loop. you guys can do that. Say for example, if for example X gets to the say New Zealand, and you guys want to break, then you guys gonna apply your break with the for loop. And keep in mind, we haven't used any of this range because the range is special function in Python. You guys can run your loop without the range. So if we come here and we're going to see Australia and New Zealand, because once our loop gets to the New Zealand, then we don't want to see. Say for example, you guys can do more. Say for example, we put in a few other countries. We put say for example Thailand, for example, and we put India, and say for example we put a Pakistan, all right. So the last one we're going to put Iran. Okay, so we have all these countries, and if you look in here, we have New Zealand, and it's going to break our loop. But if you don't put anything, if you guys minus this one, you're going to print all the countries. So because we're running a for loop, and you're going to see the name of the Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, Thailand, India, Pakistan, and Iran. Okay, so how about if you guys like I said, you guys can do say for example, if our you guys gonna come here and says if X gets to the say for example to a string, say for example any other country, if gets to the Thailand, for example Thailand, then we want to break, or you guys want to continue, for example, then we continue, and then you guys gonna print, and you guys want to print your X. All right, now we're going to see break and continue, and if you guys going to look, then it gets to the Thailand, it keeps on going, it's not breaking. So that's if you guys don't want to break, because our loop goes to the Thailand, and if it gets to Thailand, it means it's continue. We'll continue our loop, we are not breaking from the loop. But if you guys want to say Thailand, and if you guys want to break, you guys can break your loop here. So we're gonna come here, and if you see here, it means the loop is broken. We are not going anything, we are not going to see anything more than say Thailand. So that's for loop, that's a basic for loop without range. You guys can do that, just put X, the variable in sequence, whatever the sequence here, you guys can put a number as well. So if your number gets to this one, break, otherwise you continue, or you guys can do anything you guys like. So that's a for loop, just normal for loop, and the for loop goes say variable in sequence, whatever sequence you have. And keep in mind in PHP is like for each, you guys can use for each as well. So you when it gets to Thailand, you guys want to break it, or when it gets to here, the sequence here, you want to break it, or you want to continue, it's up to you. Alright guys, that's it for this video. In the next video, we're gonna show you guys what is the nested for loops, and the nested for loops very useful and very powerful, and we're gonna show you how. Alright, that's it for this video. If you have any question or comment, leave in the comment box. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.